Hey all, here are OS Reviews. Today we're taking a closer look at two unique cases for Samsung Galaxy smartphones. The first one here on the left is what's called a magnetic tempered glass case, and it actually includes a rear and a front panel, both of which are made out of glass, and the sides here are made out of aluminum and clips together using magnets. Claims to still work with wireless chargers, and of course because of the glass material you can still see the beautiful finish of your phone, and it still retains the overall premium feel of the phone because of the glass and aluminum construction. You can find versions for every single popular Samsung Galaxy smartphone, including the Notes and the regular S line, and another version which can be found for a few dollars more also has a privacy glass finish on the front. So if people are looking at the display from the side, they won't be able to see anything. In terms of the second case that you see on the right, what makes it unique is it has a transparent segment on the case, which is a folio design that still allows you to see basic notifications. In order to activate this secondary notification panel, this case also comes with a compatible application that you can download, and once it's installed, it will be compatible with this particular case's smart wake function. Although the design isn't as striking as the other magnetic glass case, I still like the idea that it's a case that also includes a software component that comes bundled with it. Immediate first impressions is it definitely feels very solid because of the aluminum rail and the glass that's being used here. There's also a protective film on the front, which you can kind of make out has a cutout for the earpiece. And then on the rear, there's also a sticker with cutouts for the camera lens, helps you understand which direction is up and which direction is down. So they've cut out a few pockets to help the antenna still pass through this metal surface. In terms of opening it up, simply applying a bit of force, it just pops open, and you can see this is what it looks like. Basically, it's just held together using these magnets. It is a pretty strong magnet. It won't really pop open during regular usage, but it kind of locks into place. But otherwise, the assembly is super easy. And again, the magnets make it just very simple to kind of pop in the phone. Now this sample case here is using a Galaxy S8, but again it's compatible with any newer Galaxy phone as well. Taking a closer look at the design of the case now, in the rear again we still have the beautiful finish of the glass which is exposed, which looks great. There's a slight kind of seam which is the part that adheses the glass onto the metal bumper, but otherwise the camera lens of course is completely flush. The fingerprint scanner is a bit more recessed, but overall it's still easy enough, I'd say, to press on. The seal is pretty good in the sense that it doesn't really wobble or kind of move around inside of it. This is what it looks like from the various sides. The buttons themselves are very tactile and responsive. It's still quite clicky. Then here it is on the front. We also have kind of curved edges, just like most Samsung Galaxy phones. It needs to conform to that curved design. The camera here is covered up, the front-facing one, underneath the glass, along with the earpiece here. It does have a cutout. Otherwise, in terms of the responsiveness, everything is still fully functional. I can still interact with the phone overall without too many issues. What I will say though is sometimes you do need to press a little bit harder towards the middle section of the phone in order to get it to register. So if you tap really lightly, sometimes it doesn't completely pull in, but overall, not too big of a deal. Another option is you can go into settings on your phone and turn on the higher sensitivity mode for the touchscreen, aka the glove mode, so it becomes more conductive to your touch. Tempered glass screen protectors are always going to be tricky on phones like this, which have a curved screen, because the edges are just harder to adhere onto and makes it tougher than on flat screens as far as protectors are concerned. So overall, for something that's curved and built into a case, I think it's doing a pretty good job as far as retaining the functionality of the device is concerned, as you can see there, as we're kind of pushing along the different sides. So from a basic functionality as well as aesthetic perspective, this is a great case, but there's definitely still a few downsides to it. For instance, the fact that the overall level of protection is still not going to be as high as a traditional maybe bumper case. The reason being that this is made still out of glass. So if you kind of drop it on the ground, you just have more glass, which the first layer here will probably shatter and you have to replace. It is a tempered material, which means if it breaks, it will still stick together and it won't really fall into different shards. And just like traditional tempered glass protectors, chances are it's going to prevent the internal screen of the phone itself from breaking. The impact will be absorbed by the case itself. But still, if you drop it, you'll see, again, some more tear as well as damage to it compared to a fully kind of rubber case, which is more resistant And as far as wireless charging is concerned, indeed it works without any interference. So if we pop it on top, you can see it turns blue, and it's going to operate at normal speeds. When we remove it from the case, it will stop charging. The second unique case, which is this folio design that has this transparent window, opening it up is where you have a little barcode scanner that you can download the compatible app in the Play Store, but it has a nice amount of protection in terms of a cover that prevents the screen from getting scratched. Otherwise, sides of the case are constructed out of a rubber material, which feels pretty solid, and you can further unlock the phone like this. It's held into place using magnets to have it in the kickstand mode if you want to watch videos with it. It's like almost a fabric material to it, so it is very soft and grippy. The camera lens is a bit more recessed than I think what's normal. It attaches into the rubber bumper here really without any problems, fits quite well. It's a very tight seal, and looks quite cute and attractive. Doesn't add too much bulk to the phone overall. One thing I will say immediately is the folio case component I wish had a magnet that would lock it into place a little bit more. It still sits well enough if you just put it into a pocket or something like that, but if you hold it upside down, you can see that the bottom portion here will just flip open. This is what it looks like for the camera part. It is, again, kind of recessed, and the magnetic kickstand portion does work quite well. So as you can see there, we can set it up at various angles, just tilting it back to still interact and watch videos without holding it with our hands. In order to unlock the features for the smart cover, you have to download their compatible app. You have the ability to toggle on or off various notifications, such as calls, contacts, and battery information just by tapping on those controls. And you can turn on or off the cover function by tapping on that key. And once it's on, the proximity sensor of the phone will also be activated. Once you close the cover like a book, you can see it pops into this notification shade mode, shows you that time information before going to sleep. And when you open up the lid, the phone itself will also pop onto life. So it uses the ambient light sensor for detecting that component and actually works pretty well. The auto on or off function, so no real complaints there. It's nicely integrated. The app, though, could still use some refinement, such as the function called theme. I'm not really sure what that's corresponding to. If you tap on theme, all it says is do please respect, which doesn't really make sense. So hopefully they can push out a software update to this app, which can further increase its functionality in terms of changing things like the style of the clock and adding some more customizable colors that people might be interested in. One thing to note here is if you don't have the app activated or turned on, you can see that the window here will not be functional. So that is more or less it as far as this video, which quickly documents two unique phone cases which have been getting a bit more popular recently for Samsung Galaxy devices. And overall, they're definitely two slightly more interesting phone cases than what we typically see. So if interested, you can check out more details in the links down below, but for now that's been our video. Thanks for watching here at OS Reviews. That's been a closer look at two unique phone cases, one with glass and magnets, and another one with a smart cover.